because this podcast is definitely for you. Welcome to Rocket Fuel. Do you wish that you could surround yourself with people that love to kick ass just like you? Well, come to my party, baby, and meet some of the brightest stars in the entrepreneurial galaxy, because it is my mission to give these entrepreneurs a platform to declare what they are on this planet to accomplish and to show you why they are rocket fuel.
Yay, guys! Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I had to put that intro to kind of get us all riled up, Nettie. But Nettie and I are here to announce that we're having a baby. We're having a baby.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. No,
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
really excited. You guys know, Rocket Fuel as a podcast, and my personal mission has been to just create as many platforms as possible to help people connect with the awesome experts that are just rocket fuel for people's businesses or for people's lives. I mean, these are people that are dedicated to up-leveling others, and it's been so fulfilling with the podcast. And then actually Nettie as my coach, Nettie Owen, she is the CEO of Sapari Group. She's an amazing executive. I call her the CEO maker.
I like that name.
Yeah, you're my CEO maker. And Nettie knows as my coach how I've been just really desiring to make Rocket Fuel an event, to bring the energy of rocket fuel in front of people. And so the first step into this was collaborating with Nettie on an event, a very successful event that she has had for so many years, called Momentum Live. And Nettie, I would love for you to kind of talk about what Momentum Live has been the past couple of years first.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, it's kind of remarkable that Momentum Live has been in the last couple of years. We did not miss a beat. We never missed one event, even through the pandemic. So we were able to bring this live event, bring people together in person through the pandemic. We did it really carefully, mindfully. And in the past, this event has been about being a launch pad, which so aligns with the rocket fuel idea and mission, the idea that you would come and pull all of the resources, the thinking, the planning, the strategizing, the people all together one place, so you can figure out exactly what you need to do, what's foundational to you to be able to reach your goals. Not necessarily launch a product, although you might, but really launch into the next iteration of the work that you're doing. So we started it back in January 2018. That was the first one. This is going to be number 13. Lucky number 13. I'm excited about that. And we've held this event twice a year since January 2018, always with the idea that we bring together amazing people with the resources and experience to help each other in this room. So you do your work, but you also have the opportunity to give to others and also receive from others in the process. And it's been a great journey to go from the very first time that we implemented Momentum Live. It was actually called Launch at the time. And it was a hybrid live plus virtual event before that was a thing.
Yeah.
Before that was a thing. And we did it for half a day. And now this event is a 3-day immersive experience. And I'm just so excited with how it's grown and changed and who we bring to the room. That's probably the thing that there's a couple of things, but I hear a lot that the people we bring into this room are exactly who you want to be working with. Like it's the room where it happens, if you like Hamilton.
Yeah.
And it's great because you you get these insights and experience and background that you don't have. Just, I'm sitting in my office right now, and you know, I'm not collaborating right this moment. Actually, I am collaborating right this moment
Yeah,
with another
I know.
CEO.
Like,
But
hey.
in general, I'm not, I'm not sitting here next to other CEOs, but at
Yeah.
this event, you're guaranteed you're going to be sitting with other CEOs growing their businesses, other founders of businesses, and you just cannot replace an experience like that.
Yeah, I think what's really important is that for me, I'm really about making sure that stuff gets done, right? And when
Oh yeah.
and it's difficult when you go to an event and I'm a big fan of going to an event and getting the rah-rah and getting the like adrenaline infusion. Like I totally get it. But then it's kind of hard coming from that environment and coming back to work, right? And then
Mhm.
be like, what do I do with all the things that like all the feelings that I've had and all the things that I've learned and it can become really really overwhelming. And I hate to say it, but that's not rocket fuel, right?
No.
It's not rocket fuel when you like literally like overstimulate yourself and then you literally have to like lay down for 3 days because you've been so overstimulated, right?
Right.
Or you throw off your plan because of this and stuff like that. So I'm not saying I'm not for those events, but what was very important for me in general was being able to go to events where I felt like I was moving my business forward, right? And I was kind of receiving some sort of momentum. And at
Mhm.
the end, I felt like I actually accomplished something. So, hi for those of you that have joined us, and we're so excited to be introducing this collaboration between Nettie Owens, CEO of Sapari Group, and Rocket Fuel. So we're just talking about that, but this event, what I loved about Momentum Live that you have had for the past 13 iterations of it, right,
Mhm.
is or 12, this is
Right.
13, um, is feeling like I got stuff done.
Right.
And so that was really, really important. And as we continued to work together, um, I had realized that I would also love to be able to teach people some of the I'm gonna say this and it's not gonna be sexy, guys. All right. It's not gonna be sexy, but some of the structure and the planning that has made me and honestly businesses like you. I mean, we've both been in business for you've been
Mhm.
over 18 years. I'm approaching 18 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
am. Oh, at 19. I was trying to.
19.
I'm like, oh no, is this the year? No, next year is my
Right?
20. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You know,
Yeah.
but it guys, in order for you to sustain for that long, structure and planning is essential. And I would say that I haven't even been super great at it, right? Like by myself with accountability, I've been able to stick to my structure and my planning so much better because the issue is that when you're an entrepreneur, you nobody's your boss.
Right.
Like,
You're
you may have been
accountable to your team, but they're looking to you. And so there's always this like, there's always this push and pull, right? How much does your team say, hey, what are you doing? Are you doing the right thing? And how much do you let your guard down with your team to say,
yes.
I need support here, or go ahead and do it the way you think is right because I trust you. Like there's just always this kind of push and pull. It's good to have either a peer or somebody even, that you look up to say, okay, this is like, let's talk about what's going on here. And
Yeah.
at no point do you, absolve yourself of your autonomy and your decision making, but to be able to suss things out with somebody who's at your level or who's been there before, like that's so
Yeah.
valuable.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we have to realize that larger organizations, CEOs have boards
Right.
that they still report to, right? To
Mhm.
actually kind of communicate the progress,
Right.
establish goals and such. And so this is I mean, I'm going to continue to reiterate this because this is such an important point for us to recognize as entrepreneurs, guys. We go into entrepreneurialism because we like the autonomy, right? But if you were a 5-star employee, guess what? That doesn't mean that you're going to be a 5-star entrepreneur, because all of a
No.
sudden, like, the structure is gone. And especially in the beginning stages, it's kind of, I mean, tell me if you're watching, please provide in the chat, comment in the chat, because we should be able to see you. But it's it's a sense of freedom at first to not have that structure. And then what happens is you don't have anybody watching over, and those goals that you state, or maybe state to yourself, maybe they start moving a little bit because we start making excuses of what's going on, in our families and our mindset and our this and our that, or, oh, you don't understand, right? And now most of our friends and family members aren't entrepreneurs, so it's hard to share situations there, and you don't want them to place judgment on you because they really don't understand the situation. All of these things basically can culminate into a big problem, though.
Right.
Because
Right.
you have nobody else to be accountable for or accountable to. And what happens is, the reality is, there's no friggin' way that any team member is going to feel empowered enough to tell you that you haven't hit your goal or your mark. All right.
Right.
And I have hired executive assistants that had gusto, right? I specifically wanted people that were like there to say, hey, Wanda, you said you wanted to do this by this particular date and you didn't do it, right? I have hired people that were completely capable of doing that. But bottom line is, you're their boss.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain point when you provide some level of resistance that they're like,
Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I don't, I don't want to let her down. I don't want to, I can see she's working hard, and our teams want so much to support us that when they see we're struggling, or that we're working hard, or we're already maxed out, they're not going to bring to us the next big issue, even if it means that, the company might end up having problems. So, coming back to this event, it's an opportunity to put that structure in place, create some accountability for yourself, create some accountability that you can then share back to your teams. They will be so happy. They will be so happy that you come back with like this plan and structure for you for what you're doing going forward, because it's clear communication at that point. What are we doing? How are we going to get there? Think of it as kind of that leadership soup that you really need to be stewing in order to be at your best, and what you can bring to your company. What's different is kind of what you just said at the beginning of this thought process. Is you started talking about going to an event where you get things done. I've been there too, to events where you just get fire hosed with information. And it's great because you come back and you're like, I'm going to implement this and this and this and try this new tactic and move our company over here. And really, it all just becomes super overwhelming. What you might perceive as learning at Momentum Live is really just a reminder to bring yourself back to the structure that you have, or a reminder to help you create that structure in your business. And we do that. We do the work at the event. There's time at the event to implement. So you don't leave and go, oh, I had these great ideas, but how am I going to get started? There's time here to get yourself started so that you leave like 1 foot forward into the plan versus, how do I transfer all this experience from this event and this excitement about being around my peers into the work that I'm doing? There's time that right there where we're going to make sure that you start moving that ball forward. And then I do this event twice a year. Now we're going to be doing it twice a year, maybe something else coming down the pike.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Where the event itself becomes that next level of accountability when you check back in the next time that we host this and you tell us, where are you now from where you set your goals in that past event? I used to give out awards for people who brought their plans back tattered. Because if you brought
Yeah.
it back like tattered and written on, I knew you were following what you set out to do, and you were using that daily as a guide, which is truly critical. It cannot be something that you put in a drawer not to be, referred back to on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. So I put in the link, go to momentumlive.info. You will learn more about what Rocket Fuel Momentum Live looks like. Tell the group a little bit of like why was it of interest to you to even like partner with Rocket Fuel and with me?
You're amazing. I know you want more detail than that, but actually,
Tell them, they don't know.
okay, let me tell you how amazing Wanda is. We've been talking about a collaboration for a while and was looking for like the right thing to work together on that could amplify both of our skill sets and both of the things that our companies do really well. And so when we started talking about, well, what would it be like to bring Rocket Fuel to Momentum Live? It felt like a no-brainer because what I know is that, Rocket Fuel and Sapari Group have aligned values on who we want to bring. We want people who are ready to take action, who are already doing things in their companies to move their business forward, that have big goals, that feel like what they're doing here is a mission.
Yeah.
Right. So we already had alignment there. We already had alignment on the value of structure. We had alignment on the value of accountability. And then it was like, well, if I added Rocket Fuel to this event, it would mean that there would be more visibility to the event itself. It would be bringing together thought leaders and having just your like the way that you think, Wanda, is different, right? It's you see things differently, you see opportunities, you're extremely visionary, and I'll be honest, I'm like a little visionary. I like have a sprinkling of it. You are like made of vision. So I feel like, we complement each other well in the areas that, and the strengths that we bring to the table. And for that, I mean, you'd been telling me for years about the ways that this could be even better. And so it just really made a lot of sense to bring those ideas to the event and to share them. You know, Having you with us at Momentum Live for the events that you've come to has been instrumental. I know the attendees, people have gotten their taglines, their business names, all from the contributions that you've made in the mastermind. But to know that you're giving that contribution to all of the attendees with me, like that sounds like rocket fuel to me. That sounds like a way that I can amplify other people's experience in this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm very excited. It's my goal, as I said in the beginning. When I see that people are doing awesome work for others, it's just to say, like, how can we have this person touch more people, right? And so, as I had mentioned, I personally experienced Nettie as a coach, and I did call her. I deemed her the CEO maker, but the reason why, we're going to talk about this more at another live. We're going to do several of these as we work up to the event. The event is March 28th, by the way. I should have put that as one of the tags, right? If somebody can drop that into the chat, that would be great. March 28th, 29th, and 30th, and it is in Maryland. Okay, so it is accessible by drive to a lot of people, especially on the East Coast. Okay. This is a location that Nettie has held the event at for many, 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 many years. And there are bed and breakfasts, all this. Just check out the website. It's really, really cool, right? But how I contributed to the agenda is the first half of your day is all going to be about helping you move from a founder mindset to a CEO mindset. I called it activate CEO mode. Okay. This is really, really important because when we're at our offices, at our homes, doing our thing, right? Very often, if we are founders of our organization, we are not performing as CEOs exclusively, or potentially not very much or at all, right? We're so stuck with doing the work. And as you build a team, whether it's employees or whether you have contractors or vendors, it's critical for you to understand how to start moving from founder to CEO mindset. Okay. And so Nettie is an absolute expert on productivity, organization, executive mindset, all of that, to help you understand what does that mean, and to actually create your own personal CEO identity. That's important. Sometimes people actually repel the concept of being CEO because they don't like what they've seen in others as CEO, right? So we're here to tell you, like, you can create your CEO identity. So that's the first half of the day. And then we're going to take that activation of CEO mode and actually turn it into planning, strategic planning and tactical planning. This is where I get my nerd on as well from my corporate background, although Nettie has incorporated planning as a critical part to Momentum Live. But what we're going to do is actually help you create a plan for the next 4 months. Okay. And it's very, very common for entrepreneurs to actually like over a lot themselves, right?
Oh,
Overcommit
yeah.
themselves. And Nettie knows this.
Yep.
And so what we're going to do is make sure that you create that 4-month plan that is actually approachable, executable, and that you can declare this to your other entrepreneurs, your other CEO leaders. You can work with them and ask them for their feedback to see, do they think that this is possible to do in 4 months? What are their experiences? Mastermind around this. But you're going to walk out not only activated as a CEO, but then with your strategic and tactical plan for the next 4 months. It's super exciting. So we're going to delve into that more in our next live. But with that, I want to invite you to check out momentumlive.info. Commit to the time.
Yeah, I want to drop here now that our first, the next registrants, right? So it's the first 25 people who register, and we do have seats that are already filled. So I just want to give everybody here kind of the forewarned, right? We have a beautiful venue with the Vandiver Inn in Havre de Grace, Maryland. You'll see information about it on the website. If you register now, your registration will include 3-night stay at the Vandiver Inn. This is only available for our early registrants, and so I don't want you to miss that. You're like, oh, I'll think about it. Let me check the calendar. Totally fine. Definitely do both of those, but understand that the more you wait, the less opportunity you will have to get this 3-night stay included. And for those of you who have been to the Vandiver, you know what a treat it is to stay there. And you know what it is when you're at a conference to be on site at the venue. It's just a little different experience. And we want you to have that experience. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, check it out. If you have questions, you can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Wanda. We'll be happy to answer them. Our teams are available as well to answer any questions that you might have about the event, and also to see, is this the right fit for you? We can help you out in answering that question.
Yeah, absolutely. Just remember, this investment is for you to not just get jazzed up. You will get jazzed up. You will, right? But you're going to get jazzed up because you're going to feel empowered in your evolving role as a CEO, really understanding, like, what does this look like? And then actually being able to create a plan for success, right? I'm telling you guys, this is not being an entrepreneur. There is a structure, there is a formula to success. The reason why most entrepreneurs fail is because they fail to have the formula, the plan, and the perseverance and consistency to see that plan through. We won't let you down. Together, everybody that goes to Momentum Live is committed to not only helping each other, but helping each other evolve into that CEO that not only you want to be, but your company needs you to be in order to hit that next level. So with that being said,
I'm excited. I'm like, all right, Wanda, let's go. Let's go.
Let's sign
like
up.
a month out, but I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
You know what? I'll tell you, the only thing I'm sad about is that because I'm part of it now, I won't be able to sit in the audience. So I have to think about how I can kind of make sure that I get all that juiciness that
Wanda,
that
we
I
got you covered. We got you covered.
I
But it
know.
is hard being the deliverer of the experience means that you don't get to be fully immersed. But I will tell you, as the person who has created this container for so many times, and you're going to be part of this fold now too, Wanda, watching others have their breakthrough, watching others figure it out, watching others meet their new business besties, because it happens every time, and reconnect with people, come back and share, oh, this is what's been happening in the last 6 months, to see that relationship development, to see the business growth, to be there, watching over at each turn. It is so fulfilling. You will enjoy that part of it, and we'll make sure you're covered on the experience part of it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. So please go to momentumlive.info. Check us out. Feel free to put any questions in the chat, in the comments here, and we'll take a look at that as well. With that, bye-bye and have a rockin' day.